Some of the most destructive things that can happen to us or happen to a society are not felt immediately. It's more of like you're going without something that you need. It's like eating empty calories. You can eat empty calories every single day and hit your calorie count, so you're not actually ever hungry. But what happens day after day after day is your body's no longer functioning as well as it should. You can do that for some short period of time, but before you know it, 5 years go by, and you're not the same person that you were. You might not even know it because that was a very, very slow descent. And I think that's what's happening with the slow death of community spaces here in the United States is we're missing something that's very integral to who we are as humans. Humans are communal. Humans do like things that are real. We're not just solely transactional. And I'm a businessman. I'm obviously a capitalist. I do think that people should be able to make enough money to live, all those sorts of things. So don't kill me on that. But it's like big corporations have favored transactions and efficiency over human connection. And that's just been happening and happening and happening at an increased rate. And at the same time, small businesses that actually do, by and large, care for the consumer have been going out of business because prioritizing customer over efficiency doesn't necessarily pay the bills. And it may on some timeline, right? But it's like those timelines are getting shorter and shorter and shorter. It's harder to start a business. It's harder to sustain one. It's harder to find good help. It's harder to afford rents and things like that. So it's like we're seeing it where someone like me who has a bookstore, it's like you have to fight with all of your life and just do everything you possibly can in order to expand or stay open, things like that. So we're seeing this crumbling away of human connection. We've seen it with social media. People have gotten so desensitized to actual face-to-face human interaction. We don't acknowledge our fellow person as we walk by them. We don't pick our head up when we're out in public. When we walk into, coffee shop, Starbucks, we might not even be acknowledged as a human being. Honestly, they might not even be spoken to. You might have to speak to the cashier first. And I know that the younger generation's been getting a hard time for that, but it is the older generation that has trained them. It is the older generation that has hired them. So it's like we all have to take ownership for this. It would be a better world if the Starbucks employee acknowledged you, yes, but it would also be a much better world if we still had that local coffee shop. So what I want to kind of tie in here is like most communal spaces, they come from your local people, and your local people have not been able to compete with these big institutional companies coming in to small towns and big towns alike and just squeezing them out. Like it's okay that like one of my bookstores is in a city of 160,000 people. It's like, yeah, it's fine. Seven Brew, Starbucks, everyone come on in, and Barnes and Noble, come on in. But they can come in with such force and fury. And there's a city I grew up in called Shelbyville has 20,000 people in it, and there's a Seven Brew, there's a Dunkin', there's a Dutch Brothers, there's a Starbucks, and there's one local coffee shop on this is one road. So it's like, how in the world are you supposed to compete with that? One of those big corporate businesses are probably going to go out of business because there's too many of them. So I say all this to say we have had the slow death of community spaces. Even places like McDonald's style change over the last few years. I mean, you see like McDonald's 20 years ago, 30 years ago versus now, Walmart 20, 30 years ago versus now. Like the colors they use, the layout that they use, all those things. Like at first, when they tried to compete and start to replace small businesses, they tried to create a space that actually looked pretty warm and inviting. But now that small businesses died, they don't need that edge anymore. They just need to double down on efficiency. That's why you walk in places like McDonald's, there's not even someone at the register these days. They want you to use a kiosk, and eventually want you to use AI. I mean, they don't care. So First, we need a primary mover. Like, how do we fix this? We need people to come together as business people, invest some money, and recreate these spaces. Go open up a coffee shop. Go open up a bookstore. Those are some of the better businesses that you can still open up and still make work. It's like good luck opening up like a local pool store and compete with Lowe's. Like, I wish you could, and Godspeed to you if you can. You can do things like that, but you have to be smart. And you have to be wide. You have to be wider. You have to have a bit of a broader appeal. Different levels of services, monetize the customer at different levels. But we need people. We need heroes to arise and take back some of these community spaces. They need to buy out some of these buildings that have been dilapidated in your town, fix it up. That's what I'm doing in Tennessee here, and it's hard as heck, guys. It's hard as heck, but it is worth it. And then as a consumer, guys, we all have some small businesses that are still existing, whether it's restaurants or whatever, in our town. We need to go and support them. We need to. They might not even have the right level of service that we want them to give us. They might not even be where they need to be yet. But you know what? As a consumer, we can be that. We can be a nice consumer and smile and acknowledge them, and they can learn to reciprocate that. And if they don't, then they'll be maybe someone else will open up and who's local and will outcompete them. It's okay if they're outcompeted by someone who has better service. That's totally fine. And something else, like this is what I'm bringing back here to kind of Tennessee the best that I can. So I have a space that has a coffee shop and a bookstore, and then we have room in it to do events. So we have things like puzzle nights, like puzzle racing nights, we have karaoke nights, we have chunky knitting classes, we have painting classes, candle making classes, bringing back the arts, bringing back humanity, bringing back the humanities as well. So like just getting people in a room together where it's not like, hey, yeah, this is a small community space, it's a store, it's locally owned. Like that's great. That's a great step. But there's no space for consumers, for the public to actually interact with each other. So we do need spaces that are a bit bigger, and thankfully we can do that because I mean you have Kmart's of the world going out of business, all these big box stores, all these buildings are going vacant. What do we do about that? Well, we take it back. We take it back. Those guys have out these big corporations have been so cutthroat that they've actually outcompeted each other, and now a lot of them have failed. And I think that the public is dying for human connection, dying for analog as we go into this super AI age that everyone's really, not us, but people are really, really hyped about. It's like we need analog. We need things that are physical. We need things that are real. We need human connection. And do we trust them to bring that to us? We've seen what these big corporations have done with our towns. I'm driving through a little town square here right now. Not as lively as I would like it to be. But it's on us. Like we can sit around and complain about it, and we can do something about it. And I'm choosing to do something about it, and I'm fighting. I'm fighting for it with all my life. I'm raising the alarm. I am trying to get as many people to do this stuff with me. I was blessed to have a partner who opened up a store with me in Utah. I was blessed to just get another building in a town with a group of friends. We're going to do some awesome stuff in it. So this can be done. This can be done. And if you get some friends together and you get a plan, it's like you can do it without even having to have tons and tons of money in the bank. I haven't had much money in the bank the whole time I've been doing what I've been doing, as I've been reinvesting it, trying to grow something. Um, my moral and ethics, like I get fulfillment out of doing this sort of thing more than I would if I bought a really nice car. You guys can probably tell as I'm driving this car sometimes if I brake too hard, you'll see me vibrating in here. It's like these times I can't even do the things I need to do to maintain my little lower middle class vehicle. Um, but yeah, let's get a little bit less centralized with everything. I mean, there's one more note on this because I just want to bring this into field two. It's like go and meet with your family, have a family gathering if you can. Like that's community, right? That's the first level of community. People need to reunite with their aunts, with their uncles, with their grandmother, grandfather, with their parents, with their cousins. Like don't get so busy with life. Don't let family drama get in the way of having a connection. Churches. I live in Tennessee, where there's a church on almost every corner, and like churches have become super, super centralized and almost like a governmental structure, almost where it's like there's so many committees. There's a huge board. There's people that don't know who you are, just left and right. Some of these are just frankly too big. Not that they can't have a use case, but we don't need every church to be big and gigantic. So we need to know each other, guys. We need to talk to each other. We need to sit down with one another. We need to be accountable to and for each other. So again, like as we wake up and realize we've been eating this 0 calorie or zero nutrition type food for a while now. We've been fed this things that don't really matter, things that are being mapped by an algorithm, right? It does not care about us. It does not care what you take in. It does not care who you're becoming. We need to steer this ship and say, you know what? I need to take control of my life. Once I get control of my life, I need to try to give something back to my community. And it's like instead of being a cog in a machine working for a big corporation, I'm going to fight like heck and build something great, or at least be a good consumer in my town, at least be a community leader, at least be someone that gets people together. Something like we need you guys, and we need you guys desperately. Community spaces are dying, but it doesn't mean that they can't be reborn anew. And this, as things shift a little bit here, um, there's going to be a huge craving for it. There already is. People are starting to wake up to the element they have, but they don't know what the solution is. And be a leader, see a little bit further ahead, and offer a solution. But those are my thoughts, guys. This is what I'm kind of trying to do, and it's worth it. It's worth it. It's extremely hard, but it is absolutely worth it. And God bless you guys, and until next time.